Let's talk about content. Hani, welcome to the show. How are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing awesome, Russ. How are you?
Not too bad. I'm excited. I'm excited about this topic because you and I met probably back in, I don't know, 2014,
14,
2015.
14, 15, yeah.
And we'd been involved in podcasting and, content creation. So we've been doing this a while. And one of the things that always comes up in my conversations when I talk about the production process and producing shows for other people is why content is important. Why should I create content? And I know that you've been involved in the industry and sharing content and repurposing content. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Mhm.
But the reality is what's the value in this day and age of creating content, sharing it, and using content as part of your marketing efforts?
To me, it's just connection. It's human connection and building that trust factor with somebody, especially when you don't know them yet or they don't know you yet, right? So,
Yeah.
just putting out value to the world, putting out content that's relevant to what your target audience is looking for or is frustrated with, just builds that trust with them. And that's kind of the short answer is building trust. And before someone wants to do business with you, they want to get to know you a little bit. Content's one way for doing that.
Yeah.
More importantly, they want to know that, hey, this person is trustworthy. And then when you do content regularly, this is magical effect where you become top of mind. So when someone's thinking about, I'm looking for, I just need to optimize my SEO for my business. Who do I talk? Who's that guy that's posting all those SEO videos, right? So that you become top of mind for, whatever specialty you're in, whatever business you're in. So just doing that content consistently, it's amazing. Honestly, like I get a lot of feedback from me. People saying, I'm learning so much from you. I see you everywhere. And you're top of mind, right? You become top of mind. You're always there in their feed, whether they're looking or watching every piece of content. We don't know, but you're top of mind. That's all
the thing, and I love what you're doing recently on the quick videos. I love that piece of the equation. And the other piece is that consistency plays a big role into this. And so when you think of content creation, and if you don't know Hani and you haven't connected with Hani yet, go connect with him. Repurpose.io. I just want to share this with you because he's doing some amazing work on multiple platforms and creating some snappy content that I'm just really enjoying. And so I wanted to share Hani and his story with you. But the reality is consistency and content builds authority, it builds visibility, and it builds really your brand where you say top of mind. And so what about repurposing content that you've created previously and you want to purpose it in the future? Do you recommend that, or what are your thoughts about that, Hani?
Yeah, absolutely. To me, taking existing content you've already created and remixing it or repurposing it, almost like a DJ, you like make little clips from them, turn them into different formats. That's a powerful way to be consistent without having to kind of get on this hamster wheel of creating content every day.
Yeah.
So a lot of people feel, you have a business to run. You don't necessarily have time to sit there and make videos every single day. And you don't need to. You can do content once a month. You can do longer form interviews like we're doing now. And, have someone on your team or yourself create little clips from them.
Yeah.
And sprinkle those on social media, one per day or one every second day. And, it's that mentality of, creating the content once and publishing it everywhere. And I hate that feeling. I used to be like that where I'm like, I got to make new content, but it's not always about new content. Obviously you need new content, but you don't have to make new content every single day to post every single day. So I make content. I used to make content once a week, and I have content every day, every channel for the entire week, just from that 1 10-minute live stream I was doing.
Yeah. And the other thing about it is that, and you mentioned it, is taking content that has already been created, because a lot of content may not be it may be evergreen. It doesn't necessarily need to be, the topic of the day. We're not news reporters per
Right.
se. And so taking that content, making pieces of evergreen content, you can batch that process. Like you said, if you're feeling creative and you block out, an hour once a week, and you can actually take pieces of that content and share it out, which is so effective and it's so efficient, and then you can just put it out there. So it's a great tip, and I love that.
Yeah, and if you already have a YouTube channel, it's perfect. Right?
Yeah.
Have a YouTube channel, you've already got a library of content. Go in there, rewatch, grab 1 minute clip, and I find that 60-second is like the magic number, because that works on every platform, from TikTok to IG Reels to Instagram to Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. Just do that one clip and use that across all different platforms. And I always recommend try to do more than one clip as well. Like whether it's multiple clips from a single video, or every day grab a clip, or have someone on your team do it. If you have a team, and someone can do it. So I guess my biggest message here is, don't feel like content is daunting. Don't feel like you need to create content every single day. You could if you want to, but that's not the objective here.
Avoid the overwhelm, right?
Yeah, you can't be overwhelmed. You got to be able to publish consistently on social media, but not having to create consistently.
Yeah, I totally agree. Chris Hennessy's in the room. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Wendy's Good Morning Pirates. It's as though making a great dinner with lots of wonderful dishes that can be served up all week long in different combinations.
Yes, that's a great analogy.
That is why am I always talking about food? I don't know, Wendy. Thank you so much for joining us, though. That is a great analogy. It's like, okay, I'm gonna create a big meal. I'm gonna slice it up and package it up, and then we can have different parts of it all week long. So
it's amazing. And then people always think, your first instinct is, I take a video and I make little clips out of it. But it doesn't have to be limited to video. You can take the video, get it transcribed. There's a lot of really inexpensive software that'll do that. And then turn that into a blog post, turn that into a social media text post. There's more to it and grab quotes and put them as graphics from, in 2 seconds, you can grab a template from Canva and just paste a quote from one of your videos. And that's content. It doesn't always have to be video, doesn't have to be audio. Mix it up, serve it up. But the heart of it is that initial piece of content that you created, whether it's a YouTube video done, last week, a few months ago, last year, or it's new content that we're making today.
Yeah. What's the content that you enjoy making most?
That's a great question, because I used to be all about live streaming. I loved it because you didn't have to edit. Fire up the camera, especially when you're having a conversation like we're doing now. You prepare in advance, but then you have a conversation. It's natural, it's real, and then your job is done as the content creator. You've already created this content, and you can slice and dice and repurpose all you want. But lately, I mean, as of November, a few months ago, I just got into short form content, and I'm loving it because sometimes I just have this one single idea that I want to convey in 1 minute. Because to me, 1 minute, even less, is better. The shorter, the better. So I've been going all in on TikTok, and then obviously repurposing my TikToks to all my other platforms. But I love it. I love the short form, one topic. I have a structure. I do a quick hook in the beginning and say, hey, you're going to learn about this. Here it is. If you like it, follow me for more. So it's like a very simple structure, and you deliver and you focus. And it's really good exercise in focusing on delivering one message per video. It's high energy. It's fast, very minimal editing. And I've been really enjoying it. Like, I loved it. I look forward to doing it because I have fun with it. Move around a little bit, talk really fast. It's just.
I can tell you're having a great time during the shoot too.
I just like record. It's off on my phone. I just turn my camera angle to change different angles. It looks, and the beauty is because it's like, short form content. It's not meant to be Hollywood style. You don't have to worry about. Your background's a little messy. It's all good. It's real. It's just real, and just being yourself and teaching. The point is, you have to have value, of course. You can't just go in, hey, I had this for breakfast. That's not really exciting for short form content. But definitely short form is lately been my favorite.
Yeah.
And I take that everywhere. It's the same principle. Take it, get it transcribed. I post the same short form across LinkedIn, Instagram Reel, you name it, like all the social platforms.
Yeah.
And then turn into text posts from there, like, short text posts, like get them transcribed and then put that as a text post. You can do so much, even with short form content.
Yeah. I'm really curious what you've seen in the reactions and the response to those short form videos, sharing across different platforms.
Yeah, it's great. It's been great. I mean, to me, I always tell people, like, have a go-to platform, right? Especially if you're starting off, you're like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. How am I going to put it here and here and here and here? Just focus on creating, like, talking to whatever style it is. If you want YouTube as your primary, focus on creating 1 to 2 to 3 minute videos, maybe 5-minute videos. So more like really teaching some idea. If you want TikTok, my go-to right now is TikTok lately. Been experimenting there. Really short, 30 seconds to a minute, get your point across. But you got to make those daily, or at least post them daily. I make 3 or 4 in one day, and then I publish them separately. So focus on that one platform, what it wants, study it, follow the right people. That's what I did. I followed all the people who are doing content tips, content marketing, see what hashtags they're using, see who has the biggest followers, comment on their posts, like get into that community, learn about it, and then start posting content that see what's worked. Like, oh, this idea, people are talking about this. I'm going to make my version of that video and teach about what I learned, and just study that platform and connect it. It's not
engagement.
Engage with people. Yeah, it's not about posting and walking away. It's all about getting into that community. I've had like 3 or 4 or 5 Zoom calls with people, one-on-one calls, not clients. Like, we're just like partnerships and just chatting right from TikTok. And people would think, oh, TikTok is for kids, it's dancing, and it's not like that anymore. You can really, the more you post about a certain topic and you follow those people, the more you learn that it's a platform for everybody.
I need to go back and venture out and get that, get my TikTok.
I mean, like, honestly, like, if you're rocking on LinkedIn, focus on LinkedIn, serve that LinkedIn community well, and then you can still take that content, put it on TikTok, and you can still repurpose it, but definitely pick a platform, study it, be active on it, grow your community on it, and then you will expand your reach by putting that same content on different platforms.
Well, it's interesting too, because we're both involved in Winject, and that's a podcasting platform. It's actually a community where we're doing a lot of things for a lot of different podcasting, podcasters. And the other thing that I think is really important to understand is that, like the Pirate Syndicate, I'm teaching and coaching and sharing information with live stream producers that are producing shows for people. So there's a niche for almost anything that you want to do in the content creation space. And there's help and support in those arenas as well. And with repurpose.io, I was actually teaching what I called the traffic circle, which is essentially the philosophy behind what you're allowing people to do with repurpose.io, and building systems that allow you to support it, or having people that you have assist you in that process is so critical, because it's a noisy world. Let's admit it. There's a lot of noise, and that's why it's even more critical that we engage with people and build communities around this concept and this idea of whatever it happens to be we're talking about, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The whole idea of community. I feel a connection with my audience on TikTok. I feel it on Facebook, and there's some platforms I feel it's cold. Like, I put out, I'm not getting the feedback. For me, it's Twitter and even Instagram. Instagram is kind of hit and miss for me, and it's going to vary depending on your industry, vary depending on how often you post, etc. But I'm not worried about that. I'm still posting my content there. It's slowly growing. Like, I'm slowly attracting the right people by using the hashtags. Have been a very interesting thing I've been studying for each platform and doing a little bit of like research on that per platform, and it's helping. But it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm making content for Instagram and different content for Twitter and different content for TikTok. I'm making it for one platform and I'm testing it out on all the other platforms. And some are growing faster, some are growing slower, but they're all growing.
I think it's interesting because I used to, my Instagram game used to be pretty good. And over the years, it's like, okay, you wander. And for the most part, over time, my home base has been LinkedIn. That's where I've been placing most of my energy, and continuing to share out to other platforms as well. And I think I would probably benefit by going live a little bit more frequently on Facebook and Instagram, and up my game in stories, and do some more TikTok, short stories, short format things, because I see you and I think it looks fun, and what I'm doing right now is I did 500 episodes. I'm probably closer to 600 now.
Wow.
In the live streams. And I think I'm going to go down to 1 day a week, and then take that time that I would produce shows in the morning and probably repurpose the content that I've already created and go through the library and actually pull some nuggets of knowledge out of those, and then share them into short formats. I think that's going to be part of my effort going forward.
Yeah, I think it's, you're spending the time. It's still, you're creating content.
Yeah.
Creating it from existing content. You're creating these clips from existing content. So yeah, it's definitely a good strategy to take, especially if you're doing the long form, you're doing the podcast, and you're doing the live streaming or the video that's not, 30 seconds or a minute. You have a beautiful opportunity to take one video and turn that into 4 or 5 clips. Especially when you have guests, there's always this golden moment that when you're talking to a guest and they say something, you're like, wow, that's magic, right? Or you say something in the conversation. So there's a lot of nuggets that you can pull out from existing content. And that's a great strategy.
Yeah.
And it's not about like creating. I want to remind people, don't feel like you got to make more. You got to publish consistently, but you don't have to make all that content from scratch. You gotta think about how I can take my content I already created this week or last week and turn that into content I can trickle over and out on all the platforms every single day.
I think if you took 20% of your time in the content creation piece and 80% in the engagement and the promotion piece, putting that out there, I think you would probably be further ahead than if you just created new content every single day.
You're going to burn out. You're going to feel tired. And you're not going to get the reach, right? If you're making it always going live on one platform, for example, you're missing this opportunity of putting it on other platforms.
It's like I have 4, maybe 5 live streams today.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean,
and I still have work to do. It's like, okay, I got other things I got to get done today. So
yeah, exactly. So I mean, everybody's business is different. Some people can afford to put a whole day. Some people can afford maybe 1 day a month, but it's important to put out content. And if you're not even ready for video, do written content. Some platforms works, but like LinkedIn, just text, just to, get your thoughts down in a little LinkedIn post. You don't have to do video. I mean, I recommend video and, mixing up video with text and graphics, but start by posting, get your thoughts out, get in the habit of writing out in this, it's not always teach. A lot of times for me, I like to teach or kind of educate, but it doesn't always have to be like that. It's actually better to mix it up. Tell something behind the scenes of your business, something that happened to you, happened to a client of yours. There's so many opportunities to share content that's not teaching.
Yeah. Now I want to ask you, do you create the video and then upload it to TikTok and Reels and stories, or what's your process for distribution of content?
That's a great question. So
you have a great tool, and I kind of want to think of behind the scenes, how you think.
Yeah, absolutely. I was having a conversation with somebody on Facebook yesterday about this, and I'm just like, let me just share with her what I do. She's like blown away. Like, wow, thank you for sharing. I'm like, I love it. I love talking.
Yeah, I love sharing.
I love sharing. Like, there's no like, hey, buy my course before I can tell you. No, it's
like
here's how I do it. Like,
in fact, if you go to the Pirate Syndicate /courses, there's a lot of free courses already up there.
Yeah. So my process is this. I've been focusing on short form. So TikTok's my number one. So shoot my 1 minute video, do some basic editing on TikTok, hit publish. So it's basically natively, from my phone, publish that to TikTok. And then within a few minutes or within the hour, we have a recent integration with Repurpose.io.
I saw that.
It takes that TikTok video, sends it to my Google Drive. So I have a backup copy there. And then I go into Repurpose.io and I can go in and I see my TikTok there and I just say publish to LinkedIn, publish to Twitter, publish to Facebook. So I go to LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube Shorts.
Okay.
With like 5 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can even automate that, but I like to change, like, for example, the title on TikTok is very short. So I like to add a little more kind of meat to the more substance to the title, especially on LinkedIn, you have more characters. So I expand on it. But really, if you didn't really care about that, you can just have everything automatically go to all those platforms. But I like to massage them a little bit. So, in a few clicks, I have it on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube Shorts, Facebook page, and then and Instagram, my Instagram feed. And then the reason why I send to my Google Drive is I have someone on my team go in and post that to IG Reels, and also Pinterest has.
Are they ever going to open up their API?
Oh, for the Reels, I'm checking on a daily basis. Not yet. But there's another magical one that it's hard to explain why it's so. Maybe because it's still new. It's Pinterest, but they have something called a Pinterest idea pin, which is not your regular pin. It's an idea pin. It's basically like IG Reels is to your Instagram feed. So it's this new thing. So I've heard about it. I'm like, let me just try it, and then you just get so much reach. It's amazing. You can't track the clicks, but just the eyeballs that you get on that platform.
Yeah,
it's amazing. So those two are the manual ones: IG Reels and the Pinterest idea pins.
Yeah,
everything else is automated through our platform,
which is a beautiful platform, by the way. So
this is a rare new integration. So I'm really like kind of testing. I'm always my own customer. I build these things. I don't want to say for me, but for the style of creator that our audience is, and I'm my own customer. So that's always good. But that's my flow: is TikTok first, go out to social, and then automatically through Repurpose, and then manually to IG Reels and Pinterest idea pins. And I do I do it daily. Like I do, not weekends, but I do 4 to 5 times a week a video. Sometimes I record them 2 or 3 in one sitting, because there's an option to save as draft. So I can like basically edit everything on my phone. Everything's done from our phone. There's nothing else. There's no complicated technology. It's just a phone. From the editing to the posting is all done through the phone. You can save them as drafts, and then you can publish them every morning to TikTok, and then everything else happens automatically.
Automagically delivered.
Automagically, that's my favorite word.
And it's brilliant because, and that's why I think I gravitated so well with connecting with you back in the podcasting days, because the philosophy of content creation and just working this flow and making this workflow easy for people to understand. It's like, you don't have to create it. The thing, shifting gears a little bit, I still have corporate clients that feel that content isn't the way they get business. And are you bumping up against that in the enterprise or the corporate environments? Are you seeing more adoption in those arenas, or do you think that there's going to be opportunities? I see a lot of opportunities opening up, but I'm not sure what the adoption rate looks like. And I was going to ask you what you've seen and kind of what your experience has been with enterprise.
Yeah, I'll be honest. For me, we attract, because our platform is like, it's low price, and it's tailored for smaller content creators, like
Sure.
solo people or people with very small teams. So I don't work with enterprises.
Mhm.
We don't do coaching consulting. We're just, we're a software company.
Right.
But, we tailor our software for people who want to basically automate as much as possible, or very low team size or resources. So they want these systems in place that you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But I've seen from my years of experience that, like, yeah, enterprise, bigger companies, they want everything to be professionally shot, and which makes sense, right? They have an image and a brand, but that prevents them from putting content out consistently. And we talked about the importance of consistency.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a mind shift change where you got to say, okay, maybe you're producing this high production value live stream maybe once a month, but you need to make that content live for more than just, on YouTube, for example. You got to take that, slice and dice and make clips and turn into an audio podcast and turn into text post. Give more, extend the life of that one piece of content so that it can, work for you. And you can't do that if you're not, like, social media is not going to work if you're posting one video a month or even once a week. It's still not enough. I feel like to really get traction, you got to be doing it almost daily.
It's
not like I'm not saying you make a video every day, but I mean, like, gotta be
something has to be
the
put out
feed
there
on as many channels as you can. I go for daily if you want to do this.
Yeah, I'm a fan of daily, and you know, and I've been creating content for a long time. I've been out there for a long time, and I enjoy creating content. I like creating content, and even that allows me to kind of express what's going on and some of the things. And it does get exhausting sometimes when you get busy and you got client work that needs to be completed, or you got activities in life, so you just have to, anything you could do to make it easier, anything you could do to simplify the process and the workflow. And that's why I really love what you're doing with repurpose.io. And I thought it would be a great idea to have this conversation and just get on here and share some things that, nuggets of knowledge that we can actually share and kind of expand to the community, because it's all about giving back as far as I'm concerned. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And you nailed, like we talked about it earlier, it's this process. Have a process, have a system, whether it's software, whether it's, human power, someone on your team, whatever. Even if it's you doing it, have a system, document it, like have it written down somewhere, because you don't want to be thinking. You want to be able to create and let it go out. And then next day,
don't burn calories on the thought process.
You waste some time and energy. So have a system in place. It doesn't have to be all software. It could be a mix of software and people. It could be all people, depending on your budget. And if possible, as the creator, your energy goes into this, what we're doing now. We're creating, and offload everything else if you can. I know
document and delegate.
Delegate, put it through the system. Again, like I said, human system, software system combination, but whatever it is, focus your energy on what we're doing now, deliver the value, and then your job is done. Let the system take over. The next week, next day, whatever your creation flow is, you're energized. You're not burning out on all the extra stuff. So that's a big takeaway from this.
Yeah, Liz says hard to get your own content is a challenge. Did I miss the best advice about how to post to all social one time? The answer, Liz, is to repurpose.io. In fact, I got a call with her. She's a client, and she has a show coming up this afternoon for the Wild West Diversity, where she talks about the Wild West and rodeos and some of the people that have been involved in the history of things growing up, and different people that have been involved and engaged that their stories haven't necessarily been told. So she's got an interesting history and an interesting opportunity to share. So that's awesome. Liz, you got a ton of content. You got tons of stories. You got tons of opportunities to share it out. And so we'll get, and I broadcast those live streams to multiple platforms at one time. So it's not necessarily just, going to one platform and then sharing it out again. I blast it out to multiple platforms, so it's much easier for people to find as they go through this process.
Yeah, because some people hang out here, some people hang out there. So
Yeah.
you want to be where they hang out, not have them come look for you.
Who am I to decide where you need to hang out?
Yeah, it would just be where they are. If we have a few minutes, I want to share like I talked earlier about my short form process, like how I start short form. I also want to share, because I used to do it the other way. So I can, if you want me to, if we have a few minutes, I'll talk quickly about how to do that. So I used to go live for 10 minutes a week.
Okay.
That's it. And I decided to do it solo. I didn't want to coordinate schedule with anybody, but depending on nature, you can do an interview style like we're doing now. Probably actually better if you do an interview style, but I used to go live solo for 10 to 15 minutes, prepare a topic, some slides, my notes when I read, I just talk. I don't get a lot of traction initially on my live stream, but I multicast it like we're doing now with the LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, all at the same time. Then someone on my team goes in and picks 4 or 5 clips, and then those clips get scheduled out to the different platforms, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. So even though I went live on LinkedIn, I still share a clip on LinkedIn on another day. No one's going to remember, oh, he already talked about this. Don't worry about that. It's not, because people got to see your content at different times, right? So you don't feel like you're overwhelming or you're like spamming your audience. You're not. No one's gonna notice, right? You want to be posting regularly. And then what we started doing as well is we took that live stream, got it transcribed, and there's a lot of tools out there. We can mention them if you want, but basically it doesn't matter what tool you use. Transcription, that became a blog post. And then another cool little trick we did is we took that transcription and I summarized it down to 2,200 characters. It's not automated. Someone has to read it and just kind of cut out some things, reformat it. And that became a social media text post, like a long form text post. Those are great on LinkedIn. Obviously, it doesn't work on Twitter, but LinkedIn is great for that. So when people have long text and they click the more button to keep reading, that registers an engagement and that helps more visibility on the platform. So text posts work really, really well. And we would post the same on Instagram as well, but Instagram needed a picture. So I would just take a random picture of me just sitting on my desk or whatever. It doesn't have to even be related to the live stream content. It's just a random picture of yourself, and then you have good value because the picture draws your attention.
Yeah.
When scrolling, oh yeah, that's a picture of Russ. Oh, and then they read, oh, okay. So the picture doesn't have to be necessarily related to what the live stream's about, but it just draws their attention. And you can have another piece of content on Instagram. We did that on Facebook and we did that on LinkedIn, like the text versions, and also the clips. And then the last thing we did was we pulled maybe 2 or 3 quotes and we just pasted into our template from Canva, and that became a graphic. So we post the graphic post. So for that 1 minute live stream, that 15-minute live stream that I did once a week, we had content on every platform in different formats every day for the entire week. It's amazing, right? So there's so many different opportunities, whether you want to create short, and distribute that, or you want to create long form and slice and dice. There's still, you can turn every piece of content into like, at least have it on different platforms, 33 different ways.
Yeah. I typically I've been taking on the Pirate broadcast, I multi-stream it, and then I do exactly what you suggested. I take it and create a podcast out of it, which is distributed off to like 20 platforms. And then I take I'm currently using Otter, or not Otter. I was using Otter and now I'm using Descript to do the transcriptions. And then that goes into a blog post, and then that goes back out into the stream, and then I can continue to share that out over and over again. So, and it's really, once you get the rhythm down and you get the workflow down and you get some support around it, it's not that difficult. And I think what I'm going to do, instead of going live every day, I think I'm going to shift it up this year, like I mentioned, and I think I'll do maybe once a week, go live for a longer period of time, and then maybe take that and put more energy in the engagement side and the content processing side.
Yeah.
So Maybe do some TikToks. Maybe I'll do some TikToks.
Yeah, you can turn these 1 minute clips
Yeah.
into TikTok videos.
I think they actually extended it to what, 2.5 minutes now?
Yeah, I think you can even go maybe even 5. For sure 3. For sure
Yeah.
3, maybe even 5. But what I learned again, I studied TikTok.
Uh-huh.
Like when I first started, I studied it. Like I wanted to do it right, not waste my time on it. One of the biggest factors is on TikTok, maybe other platforms as well, but I know for sure on TikTok. Well, I don't know for sure, but from my experience, is the watch time, the percent of watch time. So if you have a 30-second video and someone watches all of it, they're more likely to watch all of it.
Uh-huh.
And that's like, 100% watch time. That's good content. If you have a 3-minute video and they watch the first 10 seconds or the first 30 seconds, that's a smaller percentage.
Right.
And that's like, TikTok's like, oh no, this is not good content. So that's why I'm just like, compress that to as short as possible. 15 to a minute max on TikTok. Even a minute is pushing it. I know it sounds like, oh my God, 1 minute. Like, what am I going to say in 1 minute? But trust me, if you have one topic, you talk a little bit fast, because it's got to be like energy.
Right? Yeah, you have to have a little bit of energy into it.
And then you can get a lot of information in that 1 minute. And I keep mine under a minute because I know I'm repurposing to IG, to Twitter, and to LinkedIn. So I just keep it under 1 minute, and it works on all the other platforms.
Yeah. A quick question. Do you use a separate channel for YouTube for your shorts?
No, I use them on my main channel. So they kind of split up the videos automatically. So if you have a vertical video that's under 60 seconds, YouTube will put that. It just shows up as a short on your channel. So you don't have to do anything actually anymore.
I was kind of curious about that, because some people, when it first came out, people were saying, hey, I'm going to put it on another channel and do something different with it. It's like,
you could. I mean, yeah, if you like, again, like I'm simple. Like, let me just put this out there. I make long form videos once in a while, not as much. Like, but a lot of my content now on YouTube is short form. And again, YouTube, it's hit and miss. Sometimes I get a few thousand views. Sometimes I get like 20. It's not consistent. IG Reels was the same. I post this one video, it's like 20. Next day I post a different video, it's 3,000. Like, what?
Well, LinkedIn killed their stories. They used to have it for a little bit.
Okay.
They had it for a little bit, and then it went away. So
now that I've seen something about audio rooms now. They're
getting
audio rooms now.
Yeah, it's like Clubhouse, but
yeah.
I think you're probably involved in the dub days, or the not dub, but blab days.
Oh yeah, the blab day. That was like, to me, like the original.
That's crazy.
People on video, like with a simple browser. It was amazing. I met so many people.
Yeah, I met so many people there.
Yeah, technology's changed. You can't do it all especially if you're not making any content. You're like, oh, what do I do? Do I do Clubhouse? Do I do that? Always think, can I repurpose that content easily? That's always like my thing. Like if I Clubhouse, I don't know about now, but back then you couldn't record them. So it's like, then what's the point of spending an hour in a group discussion? Then that content
goes away
anywhere else. It's like, no, thank you. I might join a few Clubhouses and speak or listen in, but as my main content, no, it's either YouTube. And if you're not comfortable on camera, then do an audio podcast. Or if you're not comfortable, YouTube live, just do a live. That's the best way, in my opinion. If you're not comfortable live, then do a YouTube video. If you're not comfortable being on camera, do an audio podcast. And if you don't have time or to schedule interviews, play around with short form content like TikTok or IG or whatever you want to do. It's short form, under a minute content. That's it. All those can be repurposed into all the different formats we talked about. So
I love it.
Keep that in mind. You want to give as much life to your content as you can. Don't let it just go on a platform and then disappear and you can't get it again.
Yeah. Well, Hani, this has been fabulous, and I really appreciate you stopping by. It's always great to connect with you and hang out. So if there's anything we could do to add value to your day, I know Liz says, I'm on it, repurpose.io. So, nice. And she says that TikTok blocked us at 3 minutes today. So just an update. 3 minutes is a long time. for sure.
Yeah, it is. Especially on TikTok, the attention span is so short there that you need to, like, people are like, next. So you gotta, those first 3 seconds, you gotta capture their attention.
Yeah.
And then that's the first part of your video. And then how do you keep them on for 3 minutes? It's pretty hard. So that's why I'm always telling 30 seconds to a minute max.
Yeah.
The first 3 seconds are the most important thing. Say something, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pause here and listen. So definitely. And then the stickers, I've been learning a lot about not these stickers.
Oh yeah, what about the stickers? We haven't
like
even
the
talked about
text stuff, like same idea, right? People
Yeah.
are scrolling through, sometimes the sound is off or low. So the first 3 seconds, you want to sell them on, your first 3 seconds is to sell them on watching the next 3 seconds of the video. This is like, why should they stop scrolling? Oh, learn how to, push. One of my latest videos, like, how to push your TikToks to YouTube Shorts automatically. Oh, okay. Sounds interesting. I'll stop. That was like my headline. That's what I said verbally, but also in text. That was the most visible part. So I caught their attention. For anybody interested in that, caught their attention in the first 3 seconds.
Well, what it does is qualifies people.
Yeah.
Like I don't necessarily need to spend invest a lot of energy in people that have no interest whatsoever in my products, right?
Yeah.
So
and it's about filtering people out that don't want. And then when you, obviously, whatever hook you get them on, whatever you get them to stop scrolling, you got to deliver on that. Like, don't promise them something and then your whole video is just like a lot of fluff. So like,
I think I'd call that clickbait, don't they?
Like clickbait, yeah, exactly. People do that. Like, oh, how to make $1 million on TikTok, and then like, they don't tell you anything. I'm like, no. But whatever hook you give them in the first 3 seconds, give it right away, catch their attention. Use text, like visuals as well as you telling it, because that's a very visual platform. And, so there's a lot. I took a lot of notes since November when I started learning from everybody else on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it's on my list probably in the next couple of weeks to kind of put that together in like just a little blog post or something, just to share my experience. I don't have like a gazillion followers. I'm not like that. I was like, let's build a natural audience, but I build it relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And more importantly, it's the right people that I want to attract. I'm not attracting.
That's the key. That's the key. I want to connect with the right people. And
right people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'll have to check it out. You've inspired me to take another look at it. So, well, Hani, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you and all the time and effort and energy that you do in the repurpose.io and helping so many people around the world create their content and get it out there. Because I believe in it, and I believe in what you're doing. So anything I can do to support you is happy to do so.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me here. It's a lot of fun.
All right. And everyone, as you know, come back. The Pirate Syndicate is here to help you teach and support your live streaming community efforts. And also, there's courses over there that you can do a lot of different things. Dub, content creation, repurposing, podcasting, all of those things that are out there, and we continue to develop it. So I just really appreciate you, because kindness is cool and smiles are free, and you enjoy the day. Take care, everyone. Thank you for joining the Pirate Broadcast. If you found this content valuable, please like, comment, and share it across your social media channels. I would love the opportunity to help others grow in their business. The Pirate Syndicate is a platform where you show up, we produce the show. It's that easy. If you want to be seen, be heard, and be talked about,